Olivia Newton-John moved with her family to Australia when she was 6 years old. She won a talent contest when she was 12. And look at all the million sellers she's had since. Of course, we remember her most with John Travolta in the movie Grease. What a winner that was. And we caught up with Olivia Newton-John back in 2007.
Of all the highlights in your career, I mean, all of the gold, the platinum, the 4 Grammy Awards and the 8 nominations and all of the other things. What is a highlight in that category for you, Olivia?
In that category, that's an interesting question. I would say there'd be 2 things that stand out. Grease would stand out because it was such a monumentally big movie in every area, in as far as the film, the soundtrack, and then it continues to excite people to this day. So, and we had a wonderful time making it, and it was just it was a fun movie. And then I think singing at the Sydney Olympics 2000, representing my country with John Farnham, that was a very exciting moment and something that I never dreamt I would get to do in my lifetime. So there are 2 things I can think of right now, but I've had many, you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I did a wildlife program for a while because I love animals, anything to do with the environment. And I released an eagle back into the wild in Alaska. And so we took this eagle in a cage, you know, on a train and then out in a boat, and then I got to release him because he'd been injured in the oil spill. And I released him into the sky. That was one of those moments,
yes,
you know, I'll never forget. And I knew I couldn't mess up. They were filming it, and you know, I couldn't drop him or anything. So that was just very, very special.
In Canada, we do a lot of that. Here, particularly, literally, this area has saved the bald eagle for North America.
Wonderful.
And it's taken a long, long time. But as many as 1,200 of them light up here once a year. It's
Oh,
amazing.
wonderful. They're so beautiful, so magnificent. Yeah. Australia's that's my heart home. You know, America I've lived for the longest in my life, and I love it, and it's been really good to me, but Australia is where my heart is, and when I go there I feel I'm home, I'm grounded, you know. I've been in films that have kind of kept my name going, and I've been able to work, and people still show up now, and I've been able to keep recording and keep singing. So I think I'm really fortunate to have been born into the era that I was born into, because I think the songs in the 70s and the 80s were great songs. And I was lucky enough to have great writers, John Farrar and Stevie Kipner, and I had some wonderful music that is timeless music. I think it's much more difficult now for the young people, even though you notice that the people that do well are usually people who have good songs. It's not gimmicky, and it's not just about, you know, the video. The songs are good. And the song should be good whether it's sung with a guitar or sung with a 100-piece orchestra, you know. True. It's about the song. So I think that I was just fortunate to have been born in that time, for me anyway.
You have and I want to get into this right away. You have a Christmas album coming out called
Yes.
Christmas Wish.
Yes.
And I understand that you're doing duets. One of, 2 people on it I know. One of them's played my theater here, Michael McDonald. What a great talent.
Oh, he's so wonderful, Michael. He's got one of those voices that just blows me away. It's so wonderful. And I called him and asked him would he sing on the record, and he said no problem. And he sang. Oh, he's great. He's such a nice guy.
And a Canadian gal that we're all so proud of, and she has a great sense of humor. Jann Arden's on it with you.
Yes, she is. In fact, I met her. She came to my show the other night in Calgary, where she lives, I believe, and she was very sweet and very nice, and I got to chat with her for a while, and that was really nice of her to do a guest performance on there.
Now, you know, the old story was that White Christmas with Bing Crosby was cut in the month of July. So, you know, Christmas album, you have to in advance.
Of course.
When does this put together? Over a few months, I'm sure?
We started it in February. Amy Skye, who I'm sure you've interviewed, she's a wonderful Canadian artist, singer-songwriter, and a really close friend of mine. She produced the record, and we wrote the songs together, and most of them. And we started it in, I think, February. Yeah, we started recording February, March.
Is it something about the Commonwealth? I'm just noticing that threading through here, Australia, England, Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
All John Farrar is Australian. He wrote, you know, You're the One That I Want, Hope So Devoted, Magic, Suddenly, and then Stevie Kipner, who wrote Physical, he's an Aussie. And my producers, you know, Bruce Welsh was from England, and so they're English and Australian, and now Amy's from Canada. We stick together, mate, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
David Foster, you've done work with David, and that's where I first met you.
Yes, that's right. Well, in fact, at the theatre last night at River Rock, he had a special benefit that he put on, and I came as a surprise for him and sang in that actual theatre. And he actually played piano on this record. He played the song called Every Time It Snows, and we recorded that in his studio live with the piano. And he's just magnificent. He's He's such a musician. He is magical when he plays the piano.
I don't think there's anyone on this planet that doesn't know Olivia Newton-John. I know you have to go do a show. On behalf of all of us, thank you for doing this.
Thank you. So nice to meet you again.